And then I pick up my phone and I start texting my best friend. I'm like, girl. What's going on, bosses? My name is Kat.
And I'm Josiah.
And this is Boss Up With Us.
The channel that's all about personal development, finance, and entrepreneurship for individuals, groups, and couples like ourselves. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing when is the right time to start making financial decisions with your partner. To do so, we're going to give a little bit of backstory as to when we started making financial decisions together. We're going to go over some qualities that suggest that your partner is or is not financially responsible. And finally, we're going to provide our take on when is the right time to start making those money moves with your partner.
And before we jump into all of that, we want for you guys to click that subscribe button below and turn your notifications on so you can get reminded every Wednesday at 7 p.m. when we drop a new video as part of our Midweek Motivation series. Give the video a thumbs up and leave some comments with your feedback, sharing your thoughts. So as you guys can tell, today's setup is different from the normal, and that's because we're recording at my house this time. We have this big, beautiful painting in the background of these sunflowers. We wanted to switch up the vibe a little bit. It's the beginning of the summer. Yeah. We're dressed really colorful. I'm wearing yellow. He's wearing all these colors. But we hope you guys like the new setup, and we might, incorporate it again moving forward.
Yeah. So as Kat was acknowledging, it is the start of the summer. As of today, when this episode drops, it's going to be July 1st, which means that we are officially in the second half of 2020.
We made it, yo.
Yes, we made it.
Tried to bring us down, but we made it.
It's been one crazy year, but the thing to be mindful of going into the second half of the year is it's time to double down on those things that we were telling ourselves that we were going to do when we came into the year back in January, especially now that the world is beginning to open up again. So me and Kat, some of the things that we've been doing over the past week is revising and strategizing the things that we want to do in terms of our goals with our businesses and also with our personal lives and our personal development. Just get into a routine and get into a flow of things
and stick to it. Over quarantine, I started 2 different workout plans and gave up within like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, that's terrible.
But it's the second. I know. I really did. It's the second half of the year, so I'm definitely committed to making it work and sticking to it. Josiah is joining me as well, so I'm motivation.
I'm gonna be cooking some more this summer, cooking some more throughout the rest of the year. These are just a few things that we're going to be incorporating into our lifestyles and, of course, just expanding and building upon the businesses that we have. And hopefully you guys are being mindful of this as well and just using it as motivation to continue to strive to take control of your lives and boss up over this summer and over the second half of 2020.
All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and jump into the story time. So, last year we were celebrating our 1-year anniversary, and this was June 1st, 2019. This was the day before we were actually...
I was 19 or 18?
No, it was 2019, 2020.
I'm bugging.
Yeah, see? It was exactly almost a year and a month ago. But it was the day before Josiah and I were scheduled to leave to go on our anniversary trip. We were going to Jamaica.
Love that.
Loved it. Beautiful. So the day before, on our actual anniversary, we decided to go out to eat. And we were sitting at the table. We got our food, we got our drinks, everything was good. The conversation is flowing. And Josiah says to me, he says, so, I have a proposition. I'm like, okay, because when Josiah says stuff like that, I know something is coming because his mind is always thinking of something crazy.
The way I said it like that, I was like this sitting at the table. I said I have a proposition.
Probably, wow. Yeah, knowing you. So he says to me, I think that we should open a joint account together. We go out, we're going on trips, and instead of doing everything 50-50 and splitting the bill, or you pay for it one time and I pay for it the next time, we could pool our resources, our money together into this one account and use that to fund, our lifestyle. So I'm sitting there like, give me some time to think about it. That's literally all I said. And then I pick up my phone and I start texting my best friend. I'm like, girl. I'm like, Josiah's sitting here talking about he want to open a joint account. she's like, what? That is how that came about, us in our financial decisions together. I told Josiah I needed some time to think about it. I definitely thought long and hard about it.
I think she thought about that probably for the rest of the year.
I definitely did. I thought about it for the rest of the year.
She's so paranoid.
Yeah, I definitely took a while to think about it because it's a big move, you know, opening a joint account together with your partner. And I find it, just me sharing my thoughts, I find it a little funny that a lot of couples, they can sit down and have conversations about moving in together, but they can't have a conversation about finances together.
Yeah.
You know, people get so, oh, we're about to get an apartment together, yay, we can spend so much time together. But when somebody says, oh, let's open a joint account together, you're looking at them like,
yeah.
Excuse me? So that's just some food for thought.
Hold on, let me provide a little backstory.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, yo, you know, we should open an account together. I guess at this time she was thinking, I'm like, yeah, take all your money and throw it into an account with me. I was really just talking about, okay, let's start a small savings account together. Let's start putting money aside for maybe a trip or for dates, because at that time, obviously the world was open. We were going on dates like every week.
Yeah, going out to eat.
Yeah, going out to eat all the time.
Yeah.
I think we were going, not a lot of movies, but going out to eat, going out to hang out.
And drinks and stuff. Yeah.
Stuff like that. If you're able to spend money together, then why aren't you able to have that conversation about let's make money together or save money together or invest money together? I waited a year. I waited for our anniversary because I knew what her reaction was gonna be. But I promise you, trust and believe, I had this whole scheme in my head from like, ever since I knew that I wanted her to be my girl. This is somebody that I'm gonna be with, and I'm gonna be traveling and going on dates with and spending money with, and I'm like, yo, let's take that next step. Here we are now. We have several businesses together and we have joint accounts together. So, you know, we've made some progress.
Yeah, he was able to swindle me. So we want to share with you guys some qualities that may suggest that your partner is or is not financially responsible.
I mean, obviously the big red flag that we immediately think of is you have the prototypical boyfriend or girlfriend that loves designer, might have a nice flashy car.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, they're pulling up and parking their Benz at their mom's house and they have no type of savings, or they have no type of investments, or they have no type of plan. I think the plan is the most important part here. It's not always about what they have, it's about what they aspire to have. So if this person is just going day by day and just spending all their money on
living paycheck to paycheck,
spending it on material things and things that are just out of their budget, out of their obvious budget, then that's a big red flag there. We're not here to tell you to leave that person if that is your significant other, but we are telling you that if it's a relationship that you see being worthwhile, then perhaps it's on you to step in and say, hey, you know, you shouldn't be doing this if you want to have a future with me, if you want to, you know, eventually, if you want to build with me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that your partner is wrong for living with their parent, because me and Kat obviously still live with our parents,
right.
But it's about just having a plan in place. Like I said, having a savings or having investments or planning to just have
get to that point,
businesses or whatever the case may be.
So the second quality that would suggest that your partner isn't financially responsible is if he or she is hiding their financial situation. If they shy away from conversations about finances. I know in the beginning Josiah would definitely ask me, hey, what's your credit score? All right. But we would have conversations about that. How many credit cards do you have? If you're with somebody and they shy away from that topic all the time, or they get upset about it, then you might want to, you know, I'm not saying break up with them, but, you know, have a conversation.
Yeah. You know, this is a tricky topic because a lot of people are just private. A lot of people are just not used to having these conversations. It's not easy stuff to just talk about off rip. It's a matter of understanding the person that you're with, having conversations, making them feel welcome and comfortable to have those discussions with you.
Right. You don't want to come off like you're judging that person. You want to invite them into that conversation because you want to know what's going on with their situation, and who knows, you could probably be beneficial. You can actually help them. Maybe you can help them understand credit and finances better. If
you are one of those people that's just private or is just a person that's not used to having these conversations, and you know, I promise you that once you open up to your partner and if this is a person that you truly want to be with, a person that you want to be with long term, a person that you want to buy that house and have that life and have those kids with, then having these financial conversations is extremely important, because as you continue to progress, you'll see that your financial health is directly related. I'm not telling you to go and broadcast everything to all of your friends or all of your social media followers, but your partner, that's like your partner in crime. That's the person that you're building your legacy with. It may take time for some people. Some people it's going to be a little longer than others. Me, I'm ready to talk about this stuff off of rip, because I'm very business minded, I'm very finance minded, I'm very future thinking.
And for me, it was different, because Josiah is literally the only person that I've dated that actually asked me that type of question before. Nobody in the past I've ever dated has questioned me about credit and my credit score.
No, I'm not crying.
So, it was different for me. I wasn't insulted. I was like, oh wow, like he's actually interested in having conversations like that. So you'll be surprised. Like they might be open to it. They might be excited. Like, oh, she started that conversation before me. Yes.
Yeah.
So you never know, but definitely be welcoming and come with an open mind.
All right, so enough of the bad qualities. Let's start talking about some of the qualities that suggest that your partner is financially responsible. So this would probably be the person that's very transparent with you. You know that they make money, but you know that they're not blowing all of their money. The person that they have a nice little sum in their savings, or they have a nice little sum in the stock market, or they might have a business that has been doing well for the past few years, or
they have a plan.
Oh yeah,
they have a plan and they talk about it.
Yeah.
Their intentions are known, and like Josiah said, they're transparent with you about you being in their life and how they see the future being and how it's going to work.
But be wary of the person that's always flaunting their money and always throwing their credit score in your face, or they're always buying things
and buying you stuff too. Be mindful of that. Everything
isn't always as it seems. Obviously you gotta know the person. You gotta get to know the person, and after a while you start to figure out, and but the biggest thing is like the transparency, and they're just open. They're ready to have convos, and they're very trustworthy outside of the financial aspect of the relationship. That suggests that it's a person that you can discuss a financial future with.
Josiah always lets it be known his intentions and his 5-year, 10-year, 15, 30-year plan, because he asked me at least once a month, what's your 5-year plan?
She'd be like, damn, I just told you.
And he's like, I want to hear it again.
So the last part of this discussion that we wanted to go over was, we wanted to give our take as to when is the right time to start making those money moves with your partner. So when you have an idea of the person's future outlook and you are a part of that person's future outlook, then that's probably a good sign to let you know that we can start planning our financial future together. We can open an account together. We can invest together. We're not believers that you have to wait until you're married to start having these conversations. The number one leader for divorces in this country, in the United States, is finances. It's not infidelities. It's not because somebody had a baby on somebody. People often say, oh, money doesn't matter. Money isn't everything. Money is not everything, but having it enables a lot of other things. And think about it, when you're with a person and you live under the same roof and you have a family to provide for, you want to make sure that your finances are taken care of. It would be crazy of me to not ask Kat what her financial goals are until we got married. Like I couldn't. Can you imagine that? It's so easy for us to plan a trip together, but it's difficult.
And spend $2,000-$3,000 on that trip.
Yeah.
But you don't have a conversation about financing. It's crazy.
That's a very destructive path to set out on when you have that lack of transparency in your relationship. Your partner is supposed to be like your best friend.
Yeah. You're supposed to level up together.
So
even if you're not at the same place as your partner, you shouldn't be embarrassed to talk about it, because if that person is your partner and you're building together, you're gonna build with them.
We spoke about this in one of our earlier episodes where we discussed breadwinners in relationships, and we discussed how important it is to be transparent and not put each other down based off of financial positioning. We avoid these conversations because there's a lot of pride when talking about finances, and if you feel like you're not there or where you want to be, you
Shy away from it.
You don't want them to feel like they got the upper hand, or you don't want them to
look at you differently, or look
at
down
you.
down at you,
and have a lack of respect for you. We're in our 20s.
Right.
We went to school. We have credit cards. There's situations that we're trying to better and get ourselves out of, but it's always better when you have someone there with you. A couple that invests together is a couple that's invested in each other.
All right, you guys, so that wraps up today's episode. We really enjoyed this conversation. If you guys enjoyed it too, leave some comments below sharing your thoughts. Of course, give the videos a thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you guys next week. Until then, keep growing, and keep bossing up.
Boss